run coming up, which is going to be Lego Indiana Jones, the original adventure, run by the Sag Bean. The runners and all that are ready. I'm ready. Time for some good old Lego Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay. I just realized we've been live for a moment, so sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, what's up, chat? I can see a lot of friends in here. You guys can't hear me, right? I need to just be sure that I was a bit zoned out, focused on what is it? Okay, yeah, I can hear myself. Wow, that was not the thing. Okay. This is Lego Indiana Jones, the original adventures, any percent. If you guys were around for yesterday's run of Lego Star Wars, this is going to be a little role reversal because you might remember me as the commentator for that.
Yep.
So with me on the commentary, I've got...
Hey, I'm Gamer Olive. I run a few Lego games. I ran Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga just yesterday, in fact.
I'm sure he'll show up in a moment. Okay. Okay, so...
And so basically, yeah, I personally run a good few Lego games, and one of them was Lego Star Wars yesterday. I actually do run this game a little bit, but I'm not very good at it, unlike my the Sag Bean who will be running it for us today. So yeah.
All right, so for whoever's running the timer, I'm going to give the countdown from 3, 2, 1, and then I will say go, and when I do that, you can go. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So, this is a game consisting of 3 movies, and we're going to be playing all of them. So the way a lot of Lego games work is you start off only being able to play one level, a sort of tutorial level, but once that tutorial level is complete, it allows you to play whatever episodes there are in whatever order you want. So the beginning level is the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it's also going to be the final level that you see in the run because it has the longest ending cutscene. The timing ends for this game whenever you lose control, and this is true for pretty much all the Lego games. So you're gonna get to see, you're gonna see like in a lot of Lego games they might do the movies out of order, depending on whether cutscenes are a factor or not. So the opening of this level, 1-1 Lost Temple, it starts off pretty simple. I'm just gonna be playing it casually but fast. And then we'll have to do what is called a drop-in warp. So, a drop-in warp is a technique that's only made possible because of the fact that Lego games are known for being very co-op friendly. You can drop in a second player at any time without like fear of interrupting the flow of gameplay. So, Olive, if you want to explain this drop-in warp and how they work.
Okay, so a drop-in warp is essentially so as Sag Bean said, you can drop in a player whenever you so please. Oh, drop in a second player, and when you do so, they're supposed to spawn as a separate location, and if they're off screen while you do that, so you saw that they were off screen and they teleported, and you can camera manipulate such that they spawn in a location that is to your advantage, such as like on the other side of doors and such. And then what we're also seeing followed by that is a technique, very common technique with Lego games known as 1P2C, where, like Sag Bean said, this is a very co-op friendly game. It's all its gameplay is actually quite often designed for 2 players, and we see examples of Sag Bean is actually controlling 2 players at once, and that's where it gets its name: 1 player, 2 controllers.
Right there, I did a little skip. There was a bit of floor there. I don't know why it's there. It just is, and I jumped onto it, and allowed me to skip having to get Indy back here to build a ladder of some kind. So pretty much for the rest of this level, it's going to be very much glitch free. It's just gonna be me optimizing the movement a little bit. Like right here, I don't have to turn that key all the way. I turned it until the platform was close enough for me to reach. I am not doing idle skip, Colton. I'm not going for it. And anyway, so what were you gonna say, Olive?
Yeah, well, that style of skip where you're essentially going on collision, you're absolutely not supposed to be on to skip things, is very common. Because over the years, runners have discovered many pieces of collision that could just can be used to skip so many things. And the reason I love these Lego games so much is they're so broken, and it makes it for a lovely speedrun because you have so many skips. I like to say quite often multiple skips like each level, and sometimes even within those skips, there's more obscure, more obtuse ways to skip even more gameplay. It's really cool, and the community is extremely dedicated to finding these things. And so here what we're doing is we're going to be dying a lot. And so firstly, this boulder section, it ends automatically when you die to the boulder 3 times. But also, we're going to be doing some stud management here. Because for these LEGO games, studs are the currency. And in the status screens that occur after each level, a part of that is counting up your studs. But in this game, the first level specifically, that section of the status screen is unskippable. So you actually want to specifically end the level on 0 studs on both players, because if you do that, that section of the status screen is completely skipped.
Yeah, and this is true for like a lot of Lego games as well. At least the Star Wars games. I'm not sure how it is from Batman 1 onwards. If you've seen a speedrun of Lego Star Wars, the video game, the complete saga, or the original trilogy, this is kind of like a continuation of that spiritually, both casually and speedrunning wise. So right here, this is another 1P2C section. I quite like this one. I have to build Jock's plane. I'm gonna get a couple of boxes of Lego pieces, and then I'm just gonna start building this. So Jock has now built the plane, but he actually has to fix it as well with his wrench. So as he's doing that, I'm purposely taking deaths with Indiana.
Yeah.
And that is the end of the first level. So yeah, very basic level. Has like a couple mind-blowing things, but the next level is where the fun begins. So like again, you're gonna see the status screens, as they're called. They're like in every single Lego game. It'll tell you like, okay, free play is a thing you can do now. These are the characters you've unlocked. These are the studs you have. And as stated before, this is the only instance where I can't skip them. I have background noise. That's not pretty. My dog is excited about Lego Indiana Jones, it seems. So
Understandable. That's very
also,
understandable.
I'm going to be going for its very tiny time. It's a couple seconds per level. So right here, I'm continuing the story, and I'm on this PS3 file select screen. If I decide not to save over a file, there will be no autosave, and it's going to ask me to do this every time. And that saves a couple seconds, because if you do have the autosave enabled, after every level, there's a couple seconds where you see a hat icon in the middle of the screen. It's on the corner for PC and Xbox, but on this version, it's in the middle. And yeah, so there is a chance that I get a soft lock in an upcoming level. If that happens, I do have a file that I can play on, but it has the autosave enabled permanently. Like once it's on, it can't be turned off. So
Yeah.
Unless you're playing on PSP, for some reason, that game allows you to do that. I don't know why. It just does. Like, dude, give that to us, bro. That would be really
That's really
nice.
funny, actually. That's a little obscure LIJ or Lego Indiana Jones console fact that I didn't know. Because I don't know if we've mentioned, but Sajbean is not playing on PC version of this game. They are actually playing on the PS3 version, because I believe they just love just specifically running games on PlayStation, and there are so many little quirks between the console differences and PC versions. Like, they're so similar, but also just they're mostly visual, actually, differences. They're so strange, and I don't know why they happen. It's quite funny sometimes.
So some of the differences you'll be seeing is like collision, for example, extra kill planes, walls that aren't on this version that are on PC. The Wii version is also pretty much the same build as this console. So PS3 and Wii are basically like one and the same. There are very few differences between those two. And then PC, PS2, Xbox, and PSP have like the more the same kind of collision types. So and yeah, as Olive said, I mainly speedrun like a bunch of PlayStation games. So when it came to running Lego, I don't have like an actual gaming PC. I just have this laptop that is not really reliable at all. So of course, my choice for running was always obvious. I'm moving the characters in the wrong order. Okay, so this is the fight against Arnold Tote. He's kind of an... If you successfully defeat him, it's easy. If not, he's really, really annoying.
What is he doing? I don't think that's what he was supposed to do there. Going
That was
around
partially
like that.
a weird movement. So,
I've never seen that before.
I don't
He's
know
did the thing.
what his movement patterns are like, because...
Is that the thing? That's never happened before.
Cross
Okay,
That
I
happens a
shouldn't
lot in
start
Lego
talking
games.
during this section because it's breaking my concentration. So, if you want to talk about this fight, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so this fight, it uses the throwing feature, where basically just throwing a bunch of chairs, and it's a good showcase of how 1P2C can just make things more efficient. You see how, like, Sag can grab 2 chairs at once, and then
That is actually the most upsetting thing I've seen in this fight so far. Not the first thing, but the fact that Marion auto-targeted somebody else, and so she didn't get the beat up Tote. Otherwise, the fight would have ended there, but then you saw him just go into the door, so that was a massive time loss. I don't find the fight that difficult, but if you mess it up, it is really punishing. So now, for pretty much the rest of the level, I will be playing one player. This is Gen 1 skip. I'm supposed to fix these generators to activate these elevators. This first one is pretty easy to skip, as evident by my lack of failing it. Then I have to blow up this
Gen 1
TNT.
skip is not easy, by the way. I fail it all the time.
Oh great, these guys spawned. That's awesome. I moved Indy in a way that he's supposed to avoid a trigger to spawn those guys, and usually it works, but very rarely the guys do spawn. So I'm getting the marathon luck of all time right now. This is not this is not
Let's
a very...
see. I'm curious. How much times will me or Bean get to say the thing? So this level is actually very technical. There's a lot of one-player movement in this ladder portion of it, but there are so many skips. You skip basically everything, and the skips are actually pretty hard, honestly. So you see what you're seeing, because Marion's a girl, so she can jump very high. And so basically we're going to be abusing that to skip a lot of things, because it's generally used to solve a lot of puzzles, but we can also just abuse that to, like, skip the puzzles. And what Bean's actually doing right now is, you see they're going into the PlayStation menu over and over again, and what this is actually doing is lagging the game. And this causes a lot of weird things, like what the current purpose it's serving right now is, I believe, trying to get more height onto the slope such that the ledge gets cleared.
Yeah, there's actually a different way to do that skip, but it's not possible on PlayStation 3 or Wii because there's just an extra kill plane for some reason. I don't know why they added that, but it's probably one of the only things I don't like about this version of the game, because the Gen 2 skip is otherwise inconsistent. It's not difficult. I don't consider like anything that you saw me do difficult, just really finicky and inconsistent. So I'm just gonna do a tiny bit of 1P2C here. Yeah, I just lost like a lot of time to pretty much everything, so marathon luck. Can't be too mad about it. I'm just glad to get out of the level. The next 2 levels though, oh boy, the next 2 levels. That's where it's game on. And the level afterwards, I suppose you could consider that. So I do a different route to what you might see in another's run before. So I'm actually going to quit out of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I'm going to start The Last Crusade.
Oh no. I did not realize we were going to get the Last Crusade section done this quickly. Oh no. Oh.
I don't know why that's bad. I don't know why you're saying oh no. I don't know if you're just like realizing
That's
like oh
really. I mean, I guess I mean, I gotta respect it, getting these levels over with, I suppose.
well I'm on art. Remember I'm doing RTA timing, so I get to do this without time loss really.
I see, I see.
On
Yeah,
PC, on PC the route they do is they have to do the first 5 levels of Raiders, and then they have to do the first 5 levels of a second movie. It doesn't necessarily matter which, and then they do the entirety of a third movie. And that has to do with that save canceling thing I mentioned earlier, where you don't save, so you save a couple seconds every level. But on a PS3, we just go through 2 movies in a row rather than just one, and any RTA route, so basically console. And so this gives me the liberty to do Last Crusade like much earlier without really scuffing the route or losing like time. And that's good
yeah.
because man, Last Crusade is the hardest movie. A little fun fact for y'all, when I actually did this submission, I hadn't actually done a full run of this category yet. I had done movie runs of Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom. But Last Crusade was the one I was missing, and oh boy, was that a very interesting decision, because you think like why would you like submit if the movie that remains is the one that's the most difficult? And the answer is because I know I could still do it.
Yeah.
So you can once the cutscene starts, I guess you could explain bridge skip. I really love this cutscene, by the way. I liked it in the background.
It's an
There's, like,
amazing cutscene. That's one thing I love about Last Crusade. This Last Crusade portion is it has some banger cutscenes. This whole minute, like it's beautiful. It's peak Lego humor. I love
the
it.
videos in the background that gets slapped after he fails to woo this random woman, or how Indy and Marcus are completely blind to the woman in front of them. It's awesome. I'm gonna try this skip. I'm okay. I didn't even get the chance to try. It's very finicky, but we have this backup. So if you want to explain, it.
Okay, so basically what I believe Sajbin is trying to do is trying to get on, like I said, a piece of collision that's not supposed to be there above the water, and that allows them to get up to the other side of the bridge, which we'd normally have to solve quite an elaborate puzzle to get through. So
Easy.
about these levels, uh, we said the next 2 levels are difficult. I'd argue the next 3, but maybe that's because I'm in PC runner, I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
basically,
PS3 more easy. As somebody that's gonna
yeah.
be upset when I said that sentence. You can explain the box dupe if you'd like.
Yeah, okay. So, basically, a lot of the puzzles in this game revolve around these Lego boxes, which you have to put on the green plates, the green Lego base plates. But what you can do is you can abuse some longer animations of that people like Elsa have of picking up the box. You switch during that animation, and then you see how Elsa's kind of holding nothing. But then when you pick up the box that fits there, you both pick up the box with the other player and you drop a like kind of ghost box with the other players, with the player that was originally picking up the box, and this essentially lets you duplicate the boxes. So we just do that conveniently 3 times,
Now
and
one of my
then
most hated skips in the run. This skip, I do not like this skip. So Olive will explain what I'm supposed to do and maybe why I
yes.
hate it so much.
So basically, what we're attempting to do here is we're trying to manipulate Indiana Jones's position such that we're trying to get him on that ledge you see above the stained glass, and basically, if we're in the right position, and we switch characters at exactly that said position, the Indiana Jones will walk up to that ledge, and then you skip quite a puzzle. I believe Sajmin, you're going early.
I think my mom needs somebody to open the door, so I'm gonna take the time during the cutscene to go open that door. I'm gonna, or not, I hear the door being opened. Um, this skip is really not working in my favor, and it doesn't help that I was distracted by my dog. She's very feisty.
She's
Oh,
excited. She's
I got it,
hyped.
but like, I got like a weird version of it. This skip is
Uh,
not. I hate this skip a lot. I told you guys these first 2 levels are not kind. These levels, there's a reason I do them so early in the run.
yes. I
Anyways,
believe
I
you are
got it.
switching, brother. Oh, nice. I mean, I always like being stubborn about these kinds of things, these kinds of skips, because they're cool, especially in a marathon case. It's like, dude, I want to show the cool things, so I'm gonna be stubborn about it, even if it loses time.
I'm really just contemplating swapping my route there and just doing it casually because I can't stand that trick anymore, dude. I'll be fully honest. Okay, so here's the catacombs. This part is a lot more consistent gameplay.
That's funny as a PC runner because PC version of this game, because you're allowed to run the game at over 60 frames per second on PC, but I don't think there's a thing on console. That avoids having to do a console or no PC version has to do a very like difficult technical run killing trick, which saves like 30 seconds, but is difficult and FPS dependent. And
you can actually do it on a console. It's just really, really difficult. And I've done it before, but I just decided, you know what, it's just not a good idea to go for
good
that and
safety.
run. So I'm doing all this like casually with 1P2C. This next level is gonna have another skip that's not possible on PS3. So for console runners on Xbox or PlayStation 2, they have it really bad because like not only is the transition skip inconsistent, but they also just don't get access to this skip that you're about to see. Up on this platform, I'm gonna hop around this box, and then I'm gonna just hop over these spikes. And on many versions of the game, there's an invisible wall there, but there just isn't here.
That's sick, actually.
That's awesome.
That's a cool skip. Is that a thing on PC?
No.
Okay, good, because I'm glad I didn't miss that.
So
So coming up, we have
I'm gonna play marathon.
boss fight.
I was gonna say I'm gonna play it marathon safe because there is a chance that I soft lock. It's a bit rare, but it's one of those soft locks where I can't even pause the game. Not a hard lock. Game's still running, but I just can't. I have to quit out to the X and B. That's really, really annoying to get. It actually happened to me earlier, and at the same time, my OBS started like buffering as well. Like it just wasn't working. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this for today. So
Fair enough.
this guy, he's gonna get on the boat, and with this shovel, I'm able to just hit him a bunch of times.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be up here at this point, even though I believe it may be slightly more movie accurate. Oh, actually, no, I believe in the movie, Indy does in fact get on his own boat, but we're not going to be doing that. At least not for now. I believe the next phase. This is where, if you do the skip, you can soft lock, but Sajbean is understandably going quite safe and doing the casual intended route for this level, that is getting on another boat and hitting the guy.
So there is on PC, that guy gets on the boat like it takes him a lot longer to get on the boat. So you do have a chance to get on the boat with him like you saw the first time, and it is possible on this version of the game as well. It's just a little different. But I tried it earlier and I soft locked, so yeah, I was like, you know what, no, we're not doing it during a marathon. I'm gonna do it as close to intended as possible just to avoid it. And I did avoid the soft lock, so woohoo. So the first of 2 painful levels is complete, and no one will miss it. Fails and continue some of the stuff in the next level as well. So, a random funny thing that I just want to point out, by the way, is there are like 13 games in this LEGO series that are eligible for this Disney-themed marathon, and only one of them is based off an IP that Disney didn't buy.
That's very funny.
Pirates of the Caribbean one. Some of them released while the IP was under Disney's hands, or based off movies that were made once Disney owned the IP, such as Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens. But there's like an alternate timeline where I can't run this game here because it's not a Disney-owned one. And Pirates of the Caribbean is the only one of them all, so I just find it funny that like how many things Disney buys. Can be best summed up by a South Park scene where Mickey Mouse says to a South Park character, "What South Park? Do I own that?" And somebody's like, "No, not yet."
So going to Castle Rescue, this is an absolute nightmare of a level for many, many reasons. The main one being present pretty much at the start, where we're going to be collecting one of the enemy's weapons, which is a cool feature of this game, casually. And in this case, we can collect one of the enemy's bazookas if he actually chooses to drop the bazooka and not shoot himself and despawn the bazooka. So you see, we're playing it very safe, very deliberate to not have that happen. And so basically, this bazooka, we're going to be carrying it to essentially the end of the level, I believe, ideally. The thing is about that, though, is that means we can't die with Indiana Jones. We cannot die. And so we have to play things very safe a lot of the time.
I hate this part because there's no shadow on the bridge, so you can't tell where you are. But I'm doing a little bit of 1P2C to make this next step a little bit quicker. So yeah, right now I'm safe, but it's very, like, my heart is racing right now. If I mess this up, I gotta go for a really slow backup. There are like a bunch of backups, and they all are pretty much just as painful. This next room, thankfully I'm a little bit safe because I don't have to play as Indy, so any deaths taken will not, like, risk me losing the bazooka. But I've lost that bazooka in the dumbest of ways before. One time I swapped to Elsa. I swapped to Elsa, and Indy's, like, he was now just being controlled by an AI, I guess. And the AI just decided to jump off the building, and as a result, I lost it. One time, I tried dropping out player 2 during that last room you saw, and that just caused me to not have the bazooka coming into this room, and I was like, how does that even happen? So this next room, I call this the fire room. I don't know if the community actually has an official name for it. It's called the fire room because it's on fire.
Yep.
So I'm going to clip out of bounds using the PS3 menu. We call this alt-tabbing, technically, because since this is a PC game, you know, but I feel weird calling it alt-tabbing when it's on a console, but we don't have a better name. Okay, so I clipped back in. That's not good, but that's okay because my respawn point is where I start, so it's not like the end of the world. I get another try at it.
This out of bounds movement is actually incredibly difficult because the death trigger or the fire's hurt box extends up. Oh, nice one. So the fire's hurt box extends really far below. So if you hit, like, go ever so slightly in the wrong place, you have things happen like going inbounds early. You can get hit by the fire if you take too tight of a line. You can like just miss the, like, spot in the out of bounds you're looking for. And the hardest part about it is you don't actually have, like, anywhere to indicate where you are except for the camera. So it can be a bit of a nightmare, and especially if you're going just by gut feeling. And so this is, like, one of the many things that makes Castle Rescue a bit of a nightmare.
I really hate this level. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I love this run, but this level really brings the whole experience down from it's like been just one of the worst levels I've had in a speed run. It's really difficult, and my mom is calling my name, and I don't know how to tell her that I can't. I'm not having good luck right now, guys. So, I'm gonna have to mute my mic in a moment. I'll probably do that in a moment, but I don't know if it'll mute on the stream. So if you end up hearing me say loudly to my mom that, like, I'm busy, and then you hear me say it in Spanish, I got through, by the way. I'll be doing a drop-in warp. It's gonna be kind of funny, but also not something I want to be doing. Okay, so
so essentially, using the drop-in warp there, if you fail that, Indy can spawn in below the death plane, and die and lose the bazooka. And here's the use of the bazooka. Boom! We just skipped a massive puzzle, a massive mini boss. It's extremely elaborate, and the closest backup that loses the least amount of time still loses like 30 seconds. And coming up, I don't know if the one try will still be done.
I will. It's
amazing. So this is another trick. You only get one try at it because this level wasn't difficult enough. So we'll see how this goes for Sag Beam.
the trick I find to be quite easy, but the fact that it's one try is, you know.
Yeah, it's, as you can see, it's an out of bounds, and you only have one try to do it. Okay, and what Sag Beam just abused there is actually an incredibly interesting piece of tech called a super jump, or a super jump abuse, where essentially if an AI player gets stuck in an unsafe place, they will, after a few seconds, try to do a super jump where they'll just jump to the nearest safest spot. And so we can abuse that because we can use the pathing, the trajectory of the super jump. We switch to the super jumping player, and that hits the load zone for the next room. So that was an absolute nightmare of the level. I don't actually know how this level is in console, but on PC it's an absolute skill gauntlet because drop and warps literally basically have happen in every room. It's just a gauntlet of drop and warp after drop and warp.
On PS3 it's a little easier, but it still got some difficult drop and warps. It's just that you know, I've been practicing the setups. First, we don't even get a drop and warp. We get a little clip with the box.
Yep.
So I have to, let's see. If I do this wrong, I can clip into the wall in like a weird way that I cannot hit the trigger, and thus I'm basically soft locked. I have to start the whole level over, which I mean, at least it's the beginning, but still, you don't want to be doing that. I'm too far to the right. Need to.
Yeah, I reckon.
There we go. Easy. So, can you please get on the bike? Thank you. This game's triangle input usage is a little funky because you have to press triangle to get on vehicles, but sometimes you just swap characters even though like the triangle button was right there. It's like you think like, man, why you got the triangle there if you're not even gonna use it? So on a console, or at least this version of the game, I can just jump up on this toll booth and I won't slide down, which is not a thing on PC.
What? I feel ripped off. That's so much worse on PC, bro. Damn.
I know. All I have to do is just jump across that bridge. It's a super easy jump.
Oh, and you just get the bike for free. Oh my god. No way.
And I can still spawn in Henry, which I don't think the drop and warp is possible. If like I don't know how possible it is. It's quite difficult, but I can at least spawn him in, so I can just beat up these guys, get one of their hats. If the blue arrow, I'm like right there, bro. Can you please pick up the hat? Yeah. Once I'm past 3-2, it's like that's where the run actually gets fun for me.
Oh my god, this is so much better on PS3. Oh my god.
If you want a good version of the game to run, here you go. So I got two drop and warp. Okay, did that badly.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, all of that just got obsoleted. I hate this drop and warp. It's so hard. It's so elaborate.
I find it to be like, I just find it a little finicky, but yeah, you can see I just got it. Oh, and Henry just decided to spawn in the wrong spawn anyways. That's really great. There we go. Phew. Okay, and now I'm gonna drop out, swap to Henry, and then... Okay, usually that works like instantly, but come on. This one I don't think it's difficult. I really don't. I just think it's a massive like skill issue, and I got it because, as I said before, it's easy, and I don't struggle with it a lot. I swear.
Look, room 3 motorcycle escape is really... I struggle with it so much. It's so bad.
There is a bug on this version of the game where even though you saw me enter that trigger with a motorcycle, I don't have it with me for some reason. Okay, and then I skip that final room, which is a very unfun room casually. I just skip it all with a drop and warp. But yeah, all the ones that I do have to do are pretty easy, if a bit finicky. One little thing to note is, as said before, I speedrun PlayStation games, so I do have a PlayStation 2, and I used that to speedrun a couple of games. And when swapping from PS2 to PS3 for a lot of those games, I thought like, well, I want to still play on a PS2 controller, so I bought a controller adapter. Right now, I have a PlayStation 2 controller plugged in as my player 2. And the reason this is important is because in the spot where the PS3 home button would be is a button labeled analog. If I press this button once, it will not bring up the PS3 XMB, but it'll rather bring up a separate menu. On a PS3 controller, you access this menu just by holding down the PS button. So I have to route my character swaps in a way that if I know I'm going to be lagging, I have to be doing it with player 1. I can't really do it with player 2 because it's just going to be really inefficient and difficult.
Now,
It's not pretty cool.
You guys mind if I drop in for a donation real quick?
absolutely, go ahead.
You've been talking so much.
Somebody talking? What?
It's me. Yes, we actually did reach the $400
Wait, Olive, why'd you say
milestone
that?
during this run. Thank you to Talia for the
Olive?
donation. Saying, I mean, I gotta see the cutscenes, and for the best princess.
Somebody else
Indy.
talking? Like you said like absolutely go ahead like a host wanted to say something, but I didn't hear anyone speak.
Okay. I just wanted to say that we had a donation. Can the runners hear me?
Okay, I'll just keep
I can
explaining
hear
my
you.
route. Okay, this guy, I just lag jumped to get to him. Oh, I got the quick kill. So this level is pretty sick, but it has another. You kind of realize by now, Last Crusade is kind of a one try thing. If you mess up something, there's a lot of instances where if you mess up something, you don't really get a second chance. And this is kind of another level with that, albeit it's much easier to avoid failing. I just have to make sure not to double jump with Henry. And the reason why is because he's holding a glass bottle. And if you dive for whatever reason, this glass bottle just disappears. So for this first room, I'm going to be playing as Indiana. I actually need him to double jump dive, whatever the move is called, over that collision. That's just the thing you can do. Yeah, so this first part, I'm just kind of running around. This part's just kind of nice. I don't know, it's just nice to just get to run around and not do much intricate stuff.
Yeah, this is actually, I find this to be an extremely refreshing level. Honestly, like just after the nightmares that are the last three, 3-1, 3-2, and 3-3, 3-4, Trouble in the Skies. So like I honestly find it so fun, but I don't want to say that before Sag absolutely nails this bottle strat.
Yeah, so that bottle functions similarly to an explosive. You're supposed to use this car that they're in to destroy the gate, but you can just throw the bottle, and again, the only place we can get the bottle is from the blimp, and we can't really go back to it, so yeah. That jump that you saw me do was also quite easy to make. On PC, they do a transition skip, which if you saw the complete Saga run, you'll know what that is. Just go through the zones. You're able to like push characters through zones that would otherwise transition them to other rooms in the level. And while they are possible on console, they are a lot more difficult, so I opt not to do them for the name of consistency. But you'll still get to see a very sick strat. I'm gonna jump up this ladder here, and there. Can you get on the ladder, please? I'm gonna get on these brown bars, and I can just. There's some finicky collision here that I can just stand on, and
What?
I made the mistake of diving with Indiana when I was supposed to just do a regular single jump, but that didn't lose me much time. And I could still reach.
What?
Yeah, this trigger right here. This trigger right here, for some reason, causes the room to end. I should mention that. I think that might be important to mention.
Yeah, yeah, those last two skips actually skip so much more than they seem. Like the glass bottle skips a whole puzzle where you have to build a whole car. You don't have to do that because apparently, a single glass bottle has the same destructive force as a full-on like vehicle. And then that other trigger we saw at the end of the level skips a segment where you have to scare away 3 flocks of bird, and that 3 flocks of birds, and that causes the plane to crash.
I just went from plus a minute and 32 to now just plus 1 second. which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I feel happy or sad. So yeah, I like the implication of the bottle having the destructive power of an entire car.
It's really funny, and it also saves time in the speedrun. So
You can explain this drop in warp, how it's a little bit different to the others, as well as the tank in the next room, because those are things that I'm gonna need to focus on.
I mean, all I really know about this drop and warp is it has a bit more of an elaborate setup because you have to get up a bit higher with Indiana Jones, and I believe if you hit that barrel that you're about to see Indiana Jones jump on, if you hit that barrel, you're kind of screwed. So you have to be a bit careful, and you also have to set up player two in a very specific position, such that I believe it's possible for them to get onto this position
Right.
that is right above the load zone. So like there, you're not supposed to be up there, but player two goes up to there anyway. And then we just skip making this plow thing. We're really good at skipping vehicles in this movie, I realize. But yeah, basically we're fighting this guy in a tank. So just two random guys in a full-on like military tank. It seems like a pretty evenly matched fight. Either way, we're going to be skipping it because what we're going to do is we're going to lag clip uh, in that on top of that bush and we're under the floor. Some more classic out of bounds movement. You're all used to it at this point. So basically, yeah, that's actually quite can be rather specific. Oh, you can just hit the trigger there. That's good to know because quite optimally you want to hit the trigger under the floor. But you don't really have good depth perception given the camera. So
These horses are really
yeah.
annoying because the second you get off of them, they just run away back to where they spawn. So if you mess up that... Are you kidding me? That's so dumb. Yeah. Hold on. We're dealing with some, not technical difficulties, but skill-related difficulties. There we go. Yeesh.
That looked pretty swag, honestly.
Yeah, so the way out of bounds planes in LEGO games work, if you missed yesterday's TCS run, is under every floor that you're able to walk on, imagine there's like a huge, like, an entire cake of floors, if you will. And you can just stand on all of them. If you stop moving or you're moving too slowly, you will start to fall down. If you jump up, you skip past many layers of these floors. But yeah, they are really useful otherwise. So now I'm just on this tank. It's a pretty cool action set piece thing. I'm having these soldiers jump on the tank and just defeat them.
Yep. I guess this is a relatively not not skip heavy partially auto scrollery section of the run. So I might hand it over to the host. See if they have anything else to say.
Yeah, you guys can say whatever it is you need.
All right. Well, so far this run has
I don't
been.
know if the hosts are here. I think you might be able to ping them just in case. Otherwise,
Yep.
I'll talk about how funny it is that in both Complete Saga and this game, the movies that are like the most universally the most liked upon the fan bases, being Empire Strikes Back and Last Crusade, happen to be the most difficult ones in the runs. You would never catch me in any other context saying I hate The Last Crusade, except for a speedrunning context. Otherwise, I love this movie, obviously. Probably my favorite movie ever. I like the way this truck flips over. And one little perk of 1P2C is I get to kill bosses quicker, assuming they don't have like super elaborate setups to kill them. In this case, I just have to smack him a bunch of times, so I just have like both Indy and Sala smacking him. Okay. I just got like a message regarding some tech issue from earlier. I'm about to... This is not going to be a gold, but it's close. If the freaking horses were willing to behave a little.
So as we're okay, so we're continuing to Temple of the Grail here to
But yeah, this is the final level of Last Crusade, I should mention.
So yeah, Temple of the Grail, a very technical level, at least on PC. Um, Another level that's just like a gauntlet of just skip after skip after skip. And there's also a good amount of variety in this one, I'd like to say. Like this one, I love this strat. I'm so sad it's obsoleted in the PC run, but I think it's awesome because what you're doing is while you're solving the puzzle with player one, you're actually getting a key, and what you're doing is you're actually saving that key for a skip later in the level. I think it's pretty sick.
It's not even a skip, but rather just doing it the intended way. Well, so it is a skip, but like, it's not being used in an unintended way, I suppose. It's kind of weird to describe. So, whatever. Wait, where's my torch? No, wait. Okay. I meant for Sala to pick up the block right there, but he didn't. He instead dropped his key, which would have been really bad because then I would have had to do a puzzle entirely the normal way, and we don't like doing things the normal way. I got the puzzle
boring.
Wrong. Again, I could do a transition skip here, but
they aren't a thing on console because you can't get their frames per second high enough.
You can do them on console. They are possible. I've done them. It's just like I said, they're inconsistent.
I see. So you see, there's just a small little optimization because when you're carrying something with a player, they walk very slowly, but you can kind of mitigate that by pushing them with the other player. And so that's just a little quick optimization. So then, like I said, Temple of Grail, absolute kind of gauntlet. And what we're about to see is a bit of a... I think this next room is pretty sick because it just like has a lot of pretty elaborate puzzles. It's a pretty wide open room with a lot of stuff in it. But you can skip all of it with like two major things that you can just basically beat the level with or beat the room with just Indiana Jones. And I think it's pretty awesome that you can do that.
Yeah, so next up is going to be a bunch of like little gauntlets, basically to get the Holy Grail. You have to like solve 3 booby traps, and you're gonna. Oh wait, let me drop out Sala. So this first one is to, like, avoid like saw blades and stuff. You have to kneel before. In the movie, it's like you have to kneel before God, I believe. Like that's how Indy manages to dodge these saw blades. I don't remember how you do this section of the level casually. I don't actually remember how to do most of this casually, despite playing the game casually for the first time a couple months ago. I just know that I have to do that specific double jump to get to this little mini island.
I think this is... I think Sajmin is lying, and this is exactly how the movie played out. Like, he was doing this sick jump over the spikes around the floor. He was doing that sick thing with a whip that went through the spikes, and then the puzzle piece just like clipped through walls and spikes. I think that's perfectly movie accurate, personally.
I think this is not the second booby trap. So we are kind of getting to it though. So now here we just got like a bunch of platforming segments. This is why I get the key with Sala at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I have to solve a puzzle. These two will turn it together, and that creates a bridge. Drop out Sala, and a little bit of parkouring across these bars. So there is a super jump that I can do here, but it's pretty difficult, so I opt not to do it for now. I may implement it into runs again at some point.
I believe the setup for the like optimal strat in this room is so elaborate that it doesn't end up saving a lot of time. At least when I was looking at like, because I definitely don't know how to do the super jump here. I looked at it and I'm like, this is so complicated for such like a pretty short section.
There's actually two.
But yeah, we're
basically
basically
stuck between these wood planks, and then one where you would get stuck behind that little like I don't even know what it is. It looked like a mini statue. So this is the next booby trap. I have to spell Jehovah. Oh, I keep forgetting how to spell it. I always go to the A for some reason. I swear I know how to spell Jehovah.
I did not know that was a spelling thing. I thought it was just like some random letters. I'm gonna be honest. That's
Yeah, no, the
a
reason
fun
it's
fact.
so in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah begins with an I, so that's why it starts with an I, even though it's, you know. So yeah, random fun fact. So let's see. I'm gonna grab this box with Sala. You can usually use this to clip out, but I really don't know what makes the clip work, so I don't do it
Same.
myself. I have done it in a previous run of mine, but it took me like many tries. So yeah, again, Last Crusade. Oh wait, I just realized I have the wrong character doing this. I don't want Indy to be doing this. I want Sala to do it. Now, if I get too far away before I finish that, the door thing will like not be finished, and it'll close on me, and I won't be able to go through with Indy. So I have to be very careful with how I moved there. So, and then this final one is just some kind of leap of faith thing. If you were wondering why I was walking on air earlier, that wasn't a glitch. That's intended. You're supposed to take a leap of faith, and in the movie, it kind of looks like it's just a huge jump that's not possible to make, but it's really a play on perspective and optical illusion. So that's what's kind of happening here.
Yeah.
Now, here's a bunch of cups. One of these is the Holy Grail, and as we can see, this guy right here, Walter Donovan, he chose poorly. So,
So yeah, basically, this section is supposed to be a gimmick of, oh no, you have to find the right cup, but it's pretty easy because the cup is in the same place every time. So we just kind of like take a path to the cup and then pick it up, and then that's how you kind of wrap up the Last Crusade.
and from then on, we can get to the movies that aren't painful to play, and you'll see a
Well,
massive quality of gameplay.
Temple of Doom can be painful.
Yeah, but nowhere near as much as this.
So I guess we can just as Crusade is wrapping up here, we have a cutscene followed by another cutscene followed by some hub movement and another cutscene. So I guess we can have the host take it away for a little bit if they have anything to read out.
But let me know when the host is finished talking, because I can't hear them on my end for some reason. I don't know why.
Will do, such bean.
Alright. So while we're watching these cutscenes, I just want to remind everyone that we are here for the fastest place on Earth, the Speedrun Marathon for all your favorite Disney runs. Currently, right now, we do have a poll open for the Magical Tetris Challenge. Right now, Goofy is in the lead with $100, and Donald is just behind with 45. Mickey and Minnie have not had any donations yet, but if you want to see one of those be the character from Magical Tetris Challenge, feel free to drop some donos to help that poll get along. And we also have a target for our Kingdom Hearts 3 run tomorrow. If you want to watch Carrie's return cutscene, we only need to raise $50 for that, and we're at $10 right now. So you can type !donate in the chat, or go on to our Tilify page and check out what we got going on.
I can finally hear the host. This entire time, I was not able to hear the host. So, that such as like the auto scroller section and an earlier section, and I'm like, Olive, are you like okay? No one's saying anything. And I'm pretty sure they were probably talking at the start of the run, which might have led to me like just saying nothing for a bit. I can finally hear the host again. Let's hope this lasts.
Yay, we're all on the same page.
Now, this is Temple of Doom. This is my favorite movie to play through, but that's partially because that's the one I've experienced with. I have
That's
the
a take, anyway.
I have the console world record for this movie. A couple seconds faster than the Xbox record, and a minute faster than the PlayStation record. Shout out to Infinite Rift, because he's a person that plays console a lot. A few of these discoveries I only know because of watching his runs. Well, this is also a culmination of his work. And he did the first story mode run of Temple of Doom on PlayStation. The run was like a 27-minute run. It took me like 100 attempts to beat it, but those 100 attempts were very fun. This first level starts off really cool. The final room kind of sucks though. The final room, I got a bone to pick with. But we'll get to that in a moment. So first, I'm gonna do a drop and warp.
Yep. I think this
Might have
level's
started-
overall pretty sick. Like, you start off straight away, easy drop and warp. Look at this. You're supposed to get like do a whole puzzle to get Indy not poisoned, but we can just keep him poisoned. And basically when we exit the room here, he's no longer poisoned now. So that's pretty cool. And this level is very short and sweet in the speedrun. It's a solid just like 2 minutes and just 3 rooms. I believe this one has a major skip, where we're going to be doing some pretty sick parkour. It's technical parkour, but I think it looks really cool when you get it. To just go like so far up such that you're just above the collision. So like, we're not supposed to be up here, but we are up here anyway, and we just look at that. We went above the level, and we can hit the transition zone.
For anyone that loves the sound of picking up a mini kit in a Lego game, you're welcome, because that mini kit is right in the way, and so you got to hear awesomeness. I love the sound effect for the mini kits, or as they're called in this game, artifacts. So,
But we call them mini kits. I call them
this
mini
room
kits.
is annoying because we have a bunch of we have 8 enemies here. 4 of them will spawn right now, and then there's gonna. I'll take it. I'll take whatever. Oh, never mind. I thought the enemies weren't gonna spawn. No, they did spawn. So I have to do another box dupe, but this one is more finicky because sometimes it just doesn't want to land on the right spot. I
Nice.
took a little bit of a look there. Earlier, I actually I got the box knocked out of my hand, so I couldn't do the dupe, and that was really irritating. And so then I had to go get the other box casually. But then that one, as I was getting close to finishing this level, it got knocked out. It was landing on the plates and it despawned, and that made me so upset that I just turned off I turned off the stream when that happened. That happened last night, not earlier today. If I said earlier today, that was wrong.
Yeah, and then after that, we have to actually get the plane's like engine, or instead of getting the plane's engines going, we're getting like the propellers themselves going for some reason. And to do that, you have to get on the plates, which you're supposed to use a forklift to do, but you can just like abuse the slopes and the broken properties of Indy's dive roll, and you just can do that just straight away. And then getting into the next level, where we actually enter the Temple of Doom TM, basically. Pancake Secrets is a very cool level in the speedrun, because at least with the route, I'm not sure which of these tricks Sajbin will be doing, but in the PC route, you get out of bounds in all the 3 major rooms of the game, but all 3 ways of getting out of bounds are different, so it just looks really cool.
So I just want you all to know. So right now in the movie, they are now in India. At first they were in China, but their plane crashed. And the story is that Indy's gonna help out a village that's unfortunately suffering right now because of an artifact of theirs, something that's like, I don't know if it's like considered an artifact, but it's something that's very precious to them. Has been stolen. This guy right here is gonna tell us all about it. This is my favorite guy. Just listen to the greatness. He's gonna really just make you feel bad for his village.
This story is absolute cinema.
That is just amazing. I love that cutscene so much.
Absolute cinema.
It's like my favorite. It's like the most rewarding thing about getting to Temple of Doom in a run. So, now I'll be doing some 1P2C. I have to control these elephants for a little bit. The way the elephants spawn is also different compared to PC. Sometimes I can make that second elephant move on its own. Sometimes I can't. I don't know what causes it. So here I'm going to skip this bridge with a very intricate jump. Or intricate. It's not really that difficult. Obviously it's easier with Willy than Indy, but it's still like easy. So Willy is scared of spiders, so I gotta clear these guys out real quick. And then once I do, she'll be able to dig up this key.
See,
Indy's gonna grab
yeah,
a
this is
banana.
a very like obtuse room because this isn't doing it justice. That's just how elaborate the like casual strat for this room is. You have to like build a bridge. You have to get the three characters that's supposed to be short around here as well, but we're not going to be using him in this section. Plus the two elephants. Um, and basically what I'm trying to say is there are about like three skips within this room that you do, and if even one of them wasn't possible, you'd have to do the casual strat. And I say this because this last section, you casually require three characters, um, and one elephant to push the buttons down. But with this specific skip, this specific very strong abuse of super jumps, you can
Yes.
go to the other side, and this is quite technical, and it looks like they're getting it. That's amazing. So
First
that's the hard
try.
part. But basically, um, that's using lag once again to cancel the trajectory of the super jump and just make Indy stop in his momentum completely. Uh, and now when you have to lag at a very specific time, if you go too early, I don't believe. If you go too late, he just goes into the back and bounds. He completes his trajectory, and if you go too early, um, he won't get on solid ground, I believe, or the solid out of
That
bounds
super
ground.
jump is really not that hard. It's just really finicky. I had a marathon run of just the Temple of Doom segment where I failed that like 5 times, and I was thinking like, okay, something is up here because I don't fail it 5 times in a row. Maybe 2 times,
I
maybe
do.
three.
Don't worry.
So yeah, that super jump is pretty sick. Now this next part is one of the funnier skips because it is the definition of saying screw you to the developers. Because where most skips that say screw you to the developers' hard work requires a lot of like thinking out of the box and whatnot, and you really got to go through some hoops just to say goodbye to all of it. Here I do a couple jumps and now I'll skip the entire corridor.
Yep. You're out of bounds, and you're gonna be out of bounds for I'm pretty sure like 30 seconds to a full minute, just below the floor. Um, and just really funny. You just skip this entire section. Now, I don't know how it works on PlayStation, but it's possible to soft lock here.
Wait, what? Oh wait, is it if you clip back in bounds?
Yes. I don't know
Okay,
if
yeah.
it's a soft lock on PlayStation, but
Oh, it absolutely is. It absolutely would
um
be.
yeah, so I hope Sajbin is going to be very careful for that to not happen.
Oh, it
So there's
absolutely would be.
some slightly like specific out of bounds collision or out of bounds movement.
There we
You're
go.
guaranteed to not soft lock. Bang, cool.
So you may have seen that the character icon was moving a little slowly, meaning I was moving a little slowly. Some triggers in this game, if you hit them while facing like the wrong direction, it will spawn you in the same room that you are in, albeit with all your characters, so it's not like I'd soft lock, but it is quite annoying and I would still lose like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I have to just be really careful. It's not difficult to hit it the right way, but you still want to be safe. Here I do a lag clip to skip having to have all three of my characters here, and thankfully
Oh,
this door
nice.
will open on its own. Um,
Absolutely killing it and navigating the many death planes in that section. Um, and so as I said, this is such a cool level because like you just saw, we went out about 3 times, and all of the 3 times were in like different ways, and I think that's pretty cool. What's not so cool though is this level. I think the next level might be my least favorite level in this game, and it's one
I
of the
like
reasons
it.
I say Temple of Doom is not the best part of the speedrun. It's because this level just sucks. I don't like it. It's
That's a fair assessment, mainly because the clip is a little finicky, and there's a very rare chance that like you just lose a crap ton of time because the not like a soft lock. At least that not. I have never experienced a soft lock here, but I've experienced like the right enemy not spawning. We'll go into more detail which fight we're talking about for anyone not familiar with this game. Right now, if you've ever been a fan of wearing clothes, this cult in the movie they do something way darker with this ritual. Here they just remove this man's clothes, and that's got to be quite embarrassing.
yeah.
The way they interpret these mature stories into games for children is what really makes these games just so fun for me. I love these a lot. So, Temple of Kali. I've got to do
Yeah,
some
Temple of
platform.
Kali.
I was gonna say let you explain like the second half. I'm just gonna quickly mention that I got to do a little bit of parkour, and if I mess it up, I will miss a cycle. So, where you take it away, Olive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like this level. I mean, it's for me, it's the lag clip is the good part. What sucks is kind of the second room, because I know there are like I literally have to do the
Oh
casual strat,
no!
and it's the most tilting thing to miss anything like that one. That skip is so easy to just spiral. Um, but yeah, this the reason we're talking about cycles here is there's these
Play on it.
rotating pillars or these cylinders that you have to travel on. And did you just make the same cycle even though or do you make an earlier one if you get that like first try?
I think if you get it second try, you're still able to make it. It's just you know, obviously you might jump through a couple hoops, but it is possible. I thought I wasn't gonna make it, but evidently that you know. So, yeah. Um, you are able to mess up once before the cycle's unmakeable. I know there's an even more godly cycle, like a super god cycle, but I don't remember what it looks like. Yeah, that clip is a little tricky. And then afterwards is also the fact, so I've mentioned before how the out of bounds planes work. They basically extend to where you can see the floor that you are supposed to be on. Um, so since there's nowhere in the next room that I'm supposed, like, beyond that gate, that's just a trigger to the next, like, room of the level. There's a tiny sliver of floor where I can still, like, stand and jump and hit the trigger, and it's, like, a very small sliver, so it's, like, kind of, it is somewhat common to just clip back in bounds in the spot you don't want to be in. But yeah, I made the Kali cycle somehow. Also, you see me swapping characters right now. Unlike LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, where you have to really defy the meaning of personal space just to swap characters, here I could be in an entirely other country and I can swap characters.
Yes.
And I'm able to do this during like scenes that happen in levels where I'm not normally supposed to have control of the characters, and I can just do this to still be able to move them around a little bit, as you can see right now.
Because what Sajbin just did so casually is you're supposed to push those like platforms out such that short round can easily platform over, but you can skip that. And the first one is something that I can personally pull off, but like I don't know how tight the second one is. I just know that it's ridiculously tight, and the fact that Saj just got it while also yapping is very impressive. So this
I
boss
find it
fight
to be quite easy.
is basically you want to activate both of those statues you see at the back there, and you can only do that with these guys in white robes. You have to collect one of their hats, and basically the 1P2C strat is to just beeline it to the two statues with one player and just um, play and just mission protect with the other player, basically.
Yeah, so this boss fight, assuming that you get that the white robed guys don't take forever to spawn, which is a super rare thing, but it can happen. It's an otherwise easy fight, in my opinion. You just gotta... I drop in a second player just to protect whoever's wearing the thuggy hat. And otherwise, it's just kind of a waiting game of waiting for those platforms to spawn while the purple dude, I forget his name, is on it. It's the
Yeah.
ultimate debate. This next level, Free the Slaves, is also really sick. Got a lot of skips.
Yeah.
Um,
I realize my take on a lot of this game, like Temple of Doom wise, is this game's very Temple of Doom is very hit or miss with levels. It's either levels I absolutely love and think are really cool, and levels I absolutely hate. Like I think this level's cool. Are you gonna be doing crossbow strats?
no, because I haven't learned them. I didn't even know those
Fair
were
enough,
a
neither have
thing.
I.
I didn't know those were a thing, and then I just kind of haven't bothered learning them yet. But it's not like the is that much slower.
Even then, this level is still very skip heavy. I believe abusing firstly you drop and warp to skip this first slave. So some pretty simple movement with Willy here, abusing the higher jump. Well, not really abusing because it's completely intended movement, but yeah, I like this level specifically because the tricks are actually very lenient, in my opinion. Um, so it's just quite a bit of fun. And for example, I mentioned something called crossbow strats because there's an advanced strat you can do where you can collect a crossbow in this section right here from one of the enemies with the other player, and you can carry that crossbow to a later boss fight. Oh, he picks it up. Sorry, Sag picks it up anyway.
I'm gonna
Um,
YOLO this. I've never whoa, I've never seen the room be dark like that before.
whoa, okay. Holy lightning bug.
Okay, I guess the crossbow didn't destroy the thing. That's okay. The alternative is to do this jump with Willy. It's not really difficult. You just gotta make sure to delay the jump. Oh yeah, wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
make sure you abuse coyote time, which is a
If
feature in this game.
I was gonna say, if I'm not looking at the child as he's pulling the lever, there's a chance that he just takes forever to pull it. So I forgot about that. Now here's another pixel jump.
Heck yeah.
Easy. And now
Oh, she's too
finally
good.
into the
Oh,
boss
they're too
fight.
good.
I don't mind I don't mind any pronoun really. I just go by they them because it's the only one I will always be on. Um. Oh. This the Maharaja. Right now he's under like control of this cult, and as such he's going to heal this thuggy guy. But we're gonna try and snap him out of it, and Short Round's gonna be the one to do it because only he can go through those doors that you're seeing. So it's pretty much pointless to fight this thuggy guy, because as soon as I deal damage to him, the Maharaja will heal him. So the first focus is to defeat him. So I am going to be 1p2 seeing a bit for the purpose of getting Willy closer to the right side, and you'll see why. There's a set of boxes that... This set of boxes is not here on PC, Xbox, or PS2 or PSP. And I...
Well, this
just
skip
pick
is
it
kind
up.
of new to me, actually.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna wait for the thuggy guy to get over here because I'm gonna get him to 1 heart, which is the minimum that I can get him to. It is not possible to defeat him past that. Once he's at 1 heart, I hit the Maharaja one more time, and now he's out of it. He's like, oh wait, these guys are weird. You are cool.
Yeah,
Like seeing the smiles on their faces. I don't know. It's very wholesome to me.
it's very fun.
Now here,
So this boss fight is actually made a lot shorter because we get him down to 1 heart. Because it's supposed to be a whole other phase, you have to hit him with dynamite. But what you can do is you can use some tag moving. This is very specific and can be very difficult. Very tight cycle, and I don't think I'm making it. Unfortunate. Very close though. So what you
I've
can
not
do
made
is
it.
you can end the fight basically as soon as you're supposed to gain control. And how that can happen is you just again use tag moving and you get dynamite to him really soon. But if you miss it, you have to wait for the next cycle.
This is honestly like one of the best levels in the game. I love this level. Like that demonstration right
Yeah.
there. It was
It's a
now
good one.
this level, with the exception of the fact that it can just soft lock for no reason, is actually also a really fun level. I hope I don't get that soft lock, because if I do, I'm gonna be sad. So,
Okay, well, are you doing the lag clip?
oh, absolutely. I'm gonna go.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss.
No, don't worry. I'm doing it with Willy. It's free with Will. Everything's free with Willy. Thank you,
Okay,
Infinite
okay.
Rift, for what you're about. Thank Infinite Rift for what you're about to see. Oh, crud! I forgot to drop out player 2.
So basically, this level, there's supposed to be a whole section for you getting the minecarts in commission so you can use them, but we can skip that with, this is an extremely technical lag clip. Because not only is the lag itself really difficult and really, really specific and really stupid, there's also, you also straight away, as you get out of bounds, you have to do something very specific to get onto valid death plane, and then and she just gets the last part first try. Amazing.
It's really easy. Infinite Rift taught me a super easy setup to do it with Willy, and it has never taken me more than 2 tries in a run to get it. I freaking love you, Infinite Rift, for this. You You just
My
helped me
God.
get one with time saves that I otherwise could not do. I remember thinking, like, when I was grinding for Temple of Doom record, I'm like, okay, I'm at a massive time loss to Rift. I'm gonna have to, like, I have to do the level casually because I don't know how to do that clip. I had tried it before, but I just couldn't get it. And he's like, oh, it's super easy. And he was absolutely right.
So this minecart section is just absolutely just an auto scroller um because you just have to hit these signs, but they're like very easy to hit in a set amount of cycles. But fun thing, a lot of runners, I guess Sajbean and I are exceptions to this, I guess, is there are different to collect the mini kits in this section of the level. You just have to hit things, and you can do that in the any percent speedrun because you're not doing anything else. So it doesn't lose time to just collect a bunch of like mini kits just for the fun of it.
I don't remember how to collect the mini
Oh,
kits.
and you see
Yeah,
Sajbean getting one right at the end there. Oh
I
no, I
lost.
have to go into another pretty terrible level. Okay, I will say this level isn't bad. It's just the boss fight at the end. That's one of the
Yeah,
worst rooms in the game.
this level's very good, but the boss fight sucks, and it's like close to the end, so it's like, ah, man. Um, this level will have at least one strat that you don't see in PC runs. So similar to
Ooh.
how in the very first level we purposely failed a chase section to end it quicker. We fail this chase section right now. After what Indy just did, you can imagine his feet hurt a lot, and he really needs some water to just make them not. Or, okay, maybe that was a little too much water, and I'm gonna run into it instead of running away from it like a normal human. Unlike
Oh
the
no, we just
old,
need to. I think no, I think Willy just needs a like. I think the party just needs a bit of a shower. I think that's what they're effectively doing here.
now
A
here,
good amount of
lag.
water pressure.
So as I said previously, the fact that there's like it's a layer of floors means that I could just mash jump and I'm at the top. So
Whoa,
I'll be
nice.
doing some 1Q2C in a moment.
All right. So what we're doing in this section is you might be thinking, why are we like defeating these enemies? And the reason why we're doing this is because we actually want to get swords and doing one of the things again abusing the fact that these swords can carry over to the towards the end of the level, and that's for the boss fight later. Because essentially the goal of the boss fight is you need swords to cut off sections of the bridge, so you want to get as much swords as possible. So we're just getting that so that I believe the best optimal way to defeat the boss fight is in 2 cycles. But actually, but also before that, we have a bush clip. Basically, we're abusing the really weird hitbox of a player in like hiding in a bush, and we're using that to be able to push another player past the door to skip very like long puzzles. This one we're abusing weird collision to get up there. Oh, and that more weird collision I didn't. That's very funny. You can just go through that. Fun fact. Try that at
Yeah,
home
and
if
that's
you
also
happen to own
possible on
the
PS,
PS3
only
version
possible on
of.
PS3. So if you're playing on PS2, PSP, Xbox, or PC, you might notice that it's not that easy because it's just outright not possible. You can explain the sword cycle skips now and how Molaram works.
All right, I'll let you look in. So basically, this boss fight, you want to get as much swords as possible, and also uh these like I said, you have to get rid of the hooks, and you do that by throwing swords at them. But and what you can do is you can, if you're really good, which I often am not, you can throw 2 swords at the same time and effectively advance 2 phases at once. And also, every phase, if you, I believe if the right conditions are met, you get 1 sword from this enemy. And so basically, you have to manage around that. But also, this smaller ram guy is just terrible at behaving because when he comes down, you have to be very specific such that you can actually advance the phase and you can actually hit him. So basically,
Oh.
if Saj locks in,
The game
um,
really does not like when two players are targeting the ropes at the same time. So if
yep.
one player is targeting, the game is very prone to just kind of making the thing like the lock on just go away. So getting two players to target at the same time is super finicky to set up. That's what causes a lot of the time loss. You just do it, and then the game's like, no, wait. You're trying to skip some stuff here. Let's slow down a little. So I unfortunately got neither of the sword cycle skips, but that's
I
okay.
mean, yeah. And that shows that, like, just with the sword management, the player management, you have to manage 3 players, Mola Ram not behaving half the time, the sword targeting not behaving half the time. It's just an absolute nightmare to do optimally.
By the way, I'm on
Uh,
pace right now. I'm now officially on pace.
oh, amazing. So right now we're just going into finishing off the last 4 levels of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like I said, like Sajbin said, we finished those levels last because the outro cutscenes are the longest, and the last outro cutscenes of the run are not counted towards the final time. And something interesting is that the route actually doesn't matter as long as we start with Raiders of the Lost Ark and end with Raiders of the Lost Ark. So we can actually do either Temple of Doom first or Lost Crusade first, but most people tend to do Last Crusade first because it's just a lot more difficult.
Now, if your name is Sonic, you're really crazy, and you do Temple of Doom after you finish the 5th level of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that craziness also leads to you getting world record, which they did do earlier today.
Yes.
So yeah, this was
Sonic 7 has been improving at the game at an insane rate. Just suddenly, oh, he's top level now, and literally about 4.5 hours ago, got a new world record. Got his first world record in the game, a 109.19, I believe it was. So this is an amazing day for Lego Indiana Jones: The Original Adventures speedrunning.
If we get a new PS3 record, we'll need somebody to get a new Wii record and a new Xbox record. Colton, if you're here, this is your chance to get a new Xbox record, and
Exactly.
So this level, danger is pretty cool. It's gonna have a lot of like broken stuff. It's gonna start off with a drop in warp, and there is another room that can have a drop in warp, but I have not been able to pull it off. So what I do instead is another PS3 exclusive strat. But we'll get to that all in time. First, let's focus on the first 2 rooms before we move on to the next one. Cool. Drop in warp work. And now here's the exclusive strat. Oh, I got it first try. That clip is a little bit finicky, so it's certainly welcome to get at first try, especially on a pace. Always makes me feel nice. So PC runners have tried that, and it just, for some reason, does not work on that version. I don't know why.
Right, and getting into a bit of a longer room here, but I believe this one still has a skip right at the end of it, which skips a puzzle. You do that a lot in this game, but you skip like a puzzle with the monkey and the dynamite. Yeah, this level's very fun. It's just like a gauntlet of skips, but all the skips in question are quite consistent, and yeah, it's quite fun. I say that, I don't believe this level has any major skips. It's just a 1v2C, but you noticed, if you have a keen eye, you will notice that player 1, Indiana Jones, just collected a banana right at the start, and you think, okay, we're going to be using that, like, straight away. But no, we're going to be doing a thing once again where we're collecting something at the start and using it later, and basically that lets us just save, like, a tiny bit of time because we don't have to collect the banana later on. It's a very small time save because the banana's right there, but yeah, it's interesting.
When you say banana, it makes me think of this scene from The Amazing World of Gumball, where Banana Joe is like singing, and he starts off with a British accent saying banana, and then he goes to an American accent saying banana. Like a weird little song. It's kind of funny, but that's just what I thought of when you said banana. It was amusing.
So you see there's just some 1p2c there of collecting the 2 boxes. I don't believe you can duplicate those boxes because in the case of this puzzle, for some reason, the 2 slots for boxes need distinct boxes. So if you dupe the same one, you're not going to be able to actually complete the puzzle. And then this one, just to finish off the level, we're going to be doing a bit more of a finicky drop-in warp in my experience, but as long as you get the setup nice and cleanly, it's not too much of a problem.
What the? Okay, so the first time, like, nothing was happening, which was strange, but then, afterwards. Okay, this has never happened to me before. I get this, like, first try. If I really can't get it, I will do an alternate strat, but, I've never failed this. Okay, there we go. That was a little strange. Otherwise, pretty good. Yeah, this level's also quite fun. This next level has a one-try trick, but it's consistent. It's not like full of RNG stuff like the bazookas. It's not like at the very end of the run, like with the flip where I dropped the statue on Indy in Last Crusade. Let's see, I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but I can't think of it right now. I guess if the host has anything he wants to say, here's your chance.
Yeah, go ahead. We're going into a minute-long intro cutscene on this next level, so if there's anything you need to say, go ahead.
Well, I would like to say that so far this run has been very entertaining. It's been kind of quiet on my end, but I'm enjoying watching it from the hot seat. So keep up the great run.
Thank you.
Will do, absolutely.
So there is I was gonna say there's one like little inside joke that I have with the Lego Indiana Jones community. There's a category called No Out of Bounds, and the joke is like what the commentary would sound like if you were to run that category at a marathon. And this level is kind of the one of the main reasons why most people aren't a fan of it. Well, the joke is just like we'd be doing a marathon, we'd be like, yeah, normally we could skip this, but we have to go out of bounds for that. But we really have to go out of bounds for like a 3-minute time skip here. Otherwise we have to like go through this. So this room, this is like the only true sequence break, not necessarily skip, but actual sequence break. This starting room actually has 2 different exits because you're supposed to revisit it and go through the second exit, but both exits are always active. So if we can get to that second exit early, we would save like several minutes. That is what you're about to see. So Olive, take it away with explaining how I'll set it up.
So basically what we're doing is we're going to be setting it up in a situation, very specific situation, where we push a statue, push like a pushable object into Sala, such that when you lag and you're holding a direction, you clip through the wall like a traditional lag clip. And basically, with a bit more of an elaborate setup, but basically, yeah, that allows you to get out of bounds and you get around to the other exit. However, another condition that has to be met for that is you have to be holding the torch. Ooh, unfortunate.
That's the run completely dead. I just killed the pace completely. I have not done that in so long, or anything like that. I was thinking like he's really low for some reason. Oh, that is so terrible. Okay, well.
And yeah, and the thing is about, as you saw there, the out of bounds movement can be very scary because you jump one too many times and you're just back in bounds. But another fail state you can get there is you can die by not doing the out of bounds correctly or like running into the snakes. But even if you do that, you just spawn back in the position where you can clip back out of bounds because you're still behind the statue. But in the case of going back in bounds, you just have to do a really slow backup or just restart the level or even just play the game casually from there. So it can be a very scary skip in that way.
There have been a lot of things that have gone wrong in this run, but you know, it's marathon luck. That though is just... Oh, that was just not supposed to happen. That's over 3 minutes lost. But my goal for this level is like a 3 minute and 33 time. I am about to like go over that, and I have to I'm literally at the start of the level. That is just terrible. I really can't believe that happened.
And I mean, like, that's not even the like only hard section in this very difficult level. Because past this, there's another very finicky skip, pretty difficult out of bounds as well in the room after this one. So I'll let them look in.
So that was what Saul was supposed to do. He was not supposed to fall like 30 feet under the ground. And okay, sometimes I can get stuck here, but it's easy to get out of if I just lag clip. I just cannot believe that happened. That was absolutely supposed to, like, I thought I would never do that again, and now I'm seeing my pace go away. That's just sad. Oh man. Okay.
So this one where I believe you actually for this lag clip you have to hold a very specific angle and the out of bounds movement's fairly specific. But basically we're skipping like 2 rooms worth of puzzles by doing this. And then coming up we have snake skip, which is so strange. Because basically what we're doing is we're manipulating a lot of variables such that when Indiana Jones drops out, he tries to go to the nearest ledge, and what happens when you jump to the nearest ledge is you get in a position such that you can and well done, they just got it first try. That can be a very finicky skip because a lot of variables at play there, but basically we just skipped this little snake mini boss there. Because the ledge that Indy grabs is on the other side of the boss fight, and you can just reach the end of the level from there.
That skip is really free on console, and on PC it's like practically a nightmare. It's like probably one of the most hated skips if I had to say. But on console it's like, wait, this skip is hard for you guys?
Oh my god, of course it's easier on console.
Just run console at this point, Olive. Just play PS3. Appa. So this one is
Um,
one PS3/Wii exclusive skip as well in the second room. So this level is really broken, but not for the same reason as the others. This one is broken because the devs just had a trillion oversights and we just exploit them. The others are things we had
yeah,
to go out of our way to do. So,
this has very much a couple of like try this at home. Like even if you have like any version of Lego Indiana Jones, you can go ahead and try these skips at home. Just because, like, I know 2 of them are very accessible. Um,
so this first one is super easy. All you have to do is get at the top of this wheelbarrow with Marion and jump and yeah, you just skip the level. This next one only works on Wii and PS3. There is supposed to be like an invisible wall or some collision that makes you slide or something. That's just gone on this
oh,
version. So
that's fun.
now this one is the most easy skip in the game. This skip is hilarious. Trigger for the
Try
next
this at
room.
home, guys.
The skip for the trigger just
So,
extends too far, and you can just do this.
so basically, you literally just hug the wall, and boom, you're in the next section. It's really funny. This next skip is not so easy because what you're using is similar to the start of 3-3. We're going to be using the anvil to clip one of the players out of bounds and into the I'm assuming developer trigger for the end of this fight. So we just see we don't need to fight this guy at all. We don't even need to really look at him, and he's just like, oh yep, his head's gone now, and we can just move on to chasing down the arc.
And this would have been an insane run if it wasn't for that like not an insane run, but rather an insane second half. Purely because of like that was a really good 1-5 basically. So,
Yeah.
right here, similar to the tank in The Last Crusade, we're going to be having another auto-scroller. This one, I'm jumping across some trucks and destroying more of these enemy soldiers. They aren't anything else. They are absolutely just
Enemy soldiers. They're enemy soldiers.
They are our enemies, so they must perish. So we're destroying the soldiers while hopping across a bunch of trucks. Oh, crud. I kind of mixed up who was who on my controller. So, but it's okay because now I'm... There we go. I was going to say, why is the truck not accelerating? one player has to drive the truck while the other has to be at like the top of the truck in order for it to advance. So on this final set of trucks, which I'm not at right now, but you will see soon, there's like a weird thing where if you jump to a truck where the enemy soldiers are at, they will jump away from you, and it's really annoying, and you just kind of gotta wait for them to get to you. At least that's how it is in my experience. I don't know why.
There are a
they do
few
that.
other smaller variables that go into this. Like, for example, we haven't really mentioned this, but there's just some complete RNG with, like, for example, you saw that Indiana Jones decided to show the heck off, and, oh, yep, he did it again, that's cool. Where he just takes, like, 2 seconds to kill an enemy because he wants to do it in a funny way, and, like, I'd understand this as a mechanic if it, like, did more damage, but all the enemies in this game die in 1 or 2 hits anyway, so it's like... And also, I believe it's... Okay, I didn't curse it into existence, but there's a way to softlock in this section by... I believe it's something to do with Sala trying to push shovel away while you're getting into the truck. I believe that has something to do with it. So I'm glad that didn't happen, because that would have been extra unfortunate.
I would have lost me like what form that would have borderline made the estimate like almost like impossible to hit if that happened. So this is the second to last level, so if the host wants to kind of just, you know, we are coming up to the final level. There are 3 segments and they are all super short, so you do get a little cutscene, and that's about it. I see the world record holder of this category in the chat right now.
Let's go! Oh my god, Sonic 7.
I agree, Sonic. By the way, Sonic, you remember when you commentated my Raiders run months ago and I messed up the 1-4 skip like a trillion times? I messed it up. I popped it back in bounds, and I lost like 3 minutes because of it. That was like, that hurt because I was on a 34-second pace. So right now my BPT is a 136, 9 minutes faster than or closer to 8 minutes actually than my estimate. Which, I mean, you know, it's good that I'm gonna hit the estimate, but man, the fact that this is not a new record is just sad.
So coming up to the final level here, this is actually one of the shortest levels, which is quite funny. I think it's pretty sick. There's 2 rooms that you have before the boss fight, and you skip basically everything in both of them. The first one is something called Top Jump. It's a classic old pixel jump, but it's quite like infamous at times because it can be a run killer if you do it wrong.
It's easy, but
basically,
you know, it's just one of those tricks that's easy, but not really.
Yeah, exactly. So if you do the correct setup, I believe it just works every time.
Yeah, if you do the thing and you do it right and you don't mess it up, it just works. It just works. I'm gonna go for a drop and warp here because I have nothing left to lose. I'm already not gonna world record, so I'm just gonna go for this drop and warp right here.
I think it's a pretty cool drop and warp because you can either drop and warp here, or you can like get up to the upper platform you see to Marian's left, and you can like get on the like pole, and then you can use that to go above the door, but you can also just drop in player 2 such that they're behind the door. But this drop and warp is actually like really specific.
I don't think
and I see Sag is going for this. Oh, and absolutely almost gets it. That looked almost good.
I jumped too late, that was my problem. Now that one, or not too late, too early. Oh, come on. That was also too early.
You're getting insanely close.
So
there we go.
Record is passing. Sadly, PS3 record, not, you know, PC.
And so this last little boss fight is has a couple mini skips in it such that you can end the phases earlier, because every phase the boss Belloc just goes to a different platform. You have to reach that platform, but you can do a variety of skips to get to him. But I believe what you can do, I don't know if this is a thing that it's very advanced. I don't know how it works. I believe it's frame perfect, where you can punch him frame perfectly such that you can just keep hitting him before the phase advances, so you just can basically end the boss fight in the second phase. That one's pretty cool. You don't actually get to the platform. You get him such that he punches you and then just gets off the platform himself because he's a
And
bit
timing's gonna
clumsy.
end right about. Ow. 137.37.
GG. 137. Solid. So yeah, very exciting run. A lot of skips, but also I'd say a fairly accessible speed game. A lot of the tricks are quite optional, and also if you join the Lego Speedruns Discord or the Lego Indiana Jones Discord, you can ask for help on any of the skips. And it's just, and the community is lovely there. Every Lego game, the community is extremely dedicated to breaking the game and just optimizing everything, like making sure things are as consistent as possible. And it's just overall, yeah, highly recommend it. Amazing community, amazing game to speedrun. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that run certainly had a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, but that's how marathon runs go. So you can't really like pick and choose. I hit the estimate, and as I said earlier, one of the organizers went into the Lego server saying like, "Hey, we're hosting this Disney marathon, and there's a lot of Disney-owned Lego games, I guess. Uh, so if you guys want to do a run," and I'm like, you know what? I uh can't I can't like do Last Crusade or like any of the runs right now because I was away from home with barely any time to like stream and a poor internet connection. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna send it, and surely I can hit the estimate with ample amount of time. And as you saw, I hit it. So
Yeah.
yeah, this game is really awesome. I have run like 20 different games across like 7 different game series, and this category is probably my top 5 like favorite speedrun categories ever. Just
Yeah,
don't feel bad if
it's
you
super
run this
fun.
game. If you run this game, don't feel bad if you struggle with 3-2 a lot. It's normal. I promise you that. Um, yeah, this is definitely an honor to get to run the full any percent, because prior to this I did marathon runs of like just some of them individual movies, but here taking on the big leagues, so it was very nice to
Yeah.
do. And thank you to the hosts for having me. Thank you. Shout out to the Lego Indiana Jones community. And shout out especially to Sonic and Infinite Rift. Sonic for being the record holder, Infinite Rift for being the other major PS3 runner. And of course, shout out to Olive for not only the TCS run from yesterday, but this little role reversal we got going. Figured since we're the only 2 in this marathon,
And yeah,
why not?
shoutouts to Sajbean, lovely member of the Lego Indiana Jones community. Was also again the commentator, the awesome commentator on my Lego Star Wars run earlier this marathon. So yeah, it's been a great time being able to do runs for this marathon. Yeah,
And hey, if you don't want to play on PC, the console versions are also pretty great to run.
not biased opinion at all.
Yeah, me and Infinite Rift have definitely been pushing this console, but there's a few other console runners too. I guess I have to shout out Colton in particular because he runs Xbox. Anyways, hosts, take it away.
Yes, take it away, host.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Saj Bean, for that run of Lego Indiana Jones. And we're going to transition to our final intermission of the day.